Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the OS Talk. Today is February 15th and we have a very special guest with us today. We're actually joined with PortalLife. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Awesome. And for those that might not know PortalLife, he's been a very established player. He's taken part in some of the World Cups and he also helps in the tournament scene himself. So hopefully we'll be able to flush out a whole bunch of questions about that and get to know a little bit more about PortalLife. I do want to apologize real quick to everybody that was here in the channel, and I'll go ahead and explain it. We do not have Deadbeat with us today, unfortunately. He's out sick. That's what we're going to say. Obviously, he'll probably be able to tell us next time, because I'll grill him for sure next episode why he wasn't here. But, anyways, PortalLife, so getting really quick into the very beginning question here. We want to know about your play history and what got you started in the game. What got you interested and what did you do for your first year in OS?
The classic question, how did you start in OSU? Well, my OSU roots go back as far as I made my account 4 years ago, and at this time when I made my account I was brought on by some friends I knew on this forum that wanted me to come play OSU with them. So with that, we played OSU together in multiplayer. I found the game like, oh my god, it's like a clone of Elite Beat Agents, because before I got onto OSU, I had played Elite Beat Agents on the DS and thought it was quite a fun rhythm game. But this was before my rhythm game nerdiness was realised. So with that said, I played it for a bit with them and then kind of didn't play it for a really long time. Then my school friends actually started playing OSU a bit, and I played with them a little again, but the same thing happened. I stopped playing it for a while. But then, in September of 2012, when I started college, in other words, for Americans, the last 2 years of high school, I started to play OSU by myself, solo, actually getting good. I started with a keyboard and a mouse. I actually, when I was playing with my friends, I didn't actually know you could use the keyboard to click, so I was playing mouse only. And Zetra, I actually have a very distinct memory of playing one of your maps in multiplayer on like the easiest setting.
in winning, right?
Nope.
Oh.
All my friends used to be better.
I do have a question with the Elite Beat Agents. So when you played that on the DS, did you now you're over in the United Kingdom, correct?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So you had the PAL version of Elite Beat Agents, which had the ability to use a mod to actually get it double time. Did you ever do that?
I never even knew that existed until right this second.
Yeah. Only the PAL version of Elite Beat Agents. This is a little fun fact. Only the PAL version has a cheat that basically allows you to turn on double time.
Wow.
It has a speed modifier for playback on the songs, and you could either do it and just watch the recording and play it back double time, or you can actually play it in double time. But it's really hard to play on a DS in double time. It's not nearly as easy.
I can imagine trying to do jumping jack flash and hard rock double time with a stylus. Oh no.
No, it wouldn't happen. You wouldn't. You might get past the first couple parts, but when you get to that very end where it's a 15-note combo and it kind of curls around itself, you're done. Done. Okay, so you started playing, and then you actually played with your friends, which is kind of interesting there, because I know that a lot of people in my local area, and I don't know if this is the same for everybody here, but a lot of people in my local area don't know too much about the game. I usually have to explain it. I usually have a spiel I have to go through every time I show the game to somebody. But you actually had school and classmates that were actually playing it?
It was very limited. It was like it was like 2 of us, and then they got out of it quite quickly. So in the end, they never really fully got into OSU.
But now, do you still talk with those schoolmates at all?
I still have contact avenues with them, but I've not talked to them properly for a really long time.
So what would you think they would feel like if you told them, hey, I ended up being one of these super awesome players at this game, and now people recognize it?
That's flattering.
Well, I mean, it is. It's pretty cool. I mean, you've come a long way, and that actually is going to segue us into the next question. Like, everybody here probably you got a lot of your fans here, so they probably know the whole thing. But for the audience that's going to be watching it on YouTube, would you mind going over a brief overview of your play history and how you rose ranks in globally and in the United Kingdom?
Well, all my fans know this story, and well, just to reiterate it, when I started, I remember I have a YouTube video of OC, my very first one. It was doing Over the Flood on hard with 5 missives with an A rank. Back when I was playing mouse and keyboard and trying to get good at OC, that was like a crowning achievement for me back then. It is kind of amazing how far I've come since that. But then, a few months in September, in December time, for Christmas, I actually got a tablet. And I played with tablet, and around January time, I started to full combo some of the easier insanes in the game, and then later down the line, I discovered the mod of Hard Rock.
Now, would you say that the tablet definitely improved your overall play, or do you feel that it just made it more comfortable for you to play and improve that?
No. There's there is the thing about, you know, tablet versus mouse, about tablet being superior to mouse and all this, but the simple facts is that absolute positioning on a tablet makes it much easier to improve and build muscle memory than it is with mouse, because mouse is relative to whatever position that it's in, so the muscle memory is also always a bit different. So for mouse players to properly develop their muscle memory, they have to have their mouse in the same positions every time, or it'll feel off for them. So the reason that tablet made me get faster quickly is because of that absolute positioning.
Yep, and I've explained that a few times, and we've had people kind of rebuttal it every once in a while, but the absolute positioning, and like people said, that makes no sense. What is absolute positioning? And that it's very simple, because even you knew it. Wherever your pin is on that, it's going to be the same place every time. It is absolute, always on. But with a mouse, like you said, it's more of a analog control, you know? It doesn't start taking input until you move it, and it doesn't have a resting position, you know?
Yeah, relative is the better word I'd use to describe the mouse, in terms of its positioning.
Speaking of which, that actually, I really like how we're moving on this. I do miss Deadbeat here, because usually he'd have some kind of witty comment. We miss you, Deadbeat. Anyways, so would you mind going over your setup and PC specs, seeing as we're talking about tablets and mouses at the moment? Like, what do you use?
It's changed over the years quite a few times. Around when I started, I was using the SteelSeries 7G Black Switch keyboard with a what mouse was it? Oh, I can't even remember, to be honest.
Well, SteelSeries isn't actually bad at all, though. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was quite a nice. It was quite a nice mech keyboard to have, and then in December I got the Wacom Bamboo 770. Excuse me. ETL7 470 from
That's the mid-size tablet, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, it's the top. It had the shape like a rectangle. It was like a bigger version of the 460.
Yeah, I think that's what I have right now myself. I used to have one of the old rectangle, I mean not rectangle, but square tablets, like straight up square, Bamboo's first line. But yeah, it eventually shot crap on me. But that thing was my everything. It was perfect because it had such a small active area to begin with. It was perfect for what it was doing.
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
And then down the line, my keyboard changed a few times. I went from the black switch keyboard to a red switch keyboard in the form of the Q-Pad MK50.
And so have you always used mechanical keyboards, or was there a time where you had a rubber dome?
There was some down periods where I had to use a rubber dome, but pretty much 90% of my OSU experience was on, well actually no, more like 98% of my OSU experience has been on a mechanical keyboard. And I still can't stream 300 BPM, so people that say mechanical keyboards make you stream 300 BPM instantly are unfortunately wrong.
Well, I can't say that they're wrong, but I can say that it's definitely not easy. I'm pretty sure you could even stream 300 on a rubber dome if you put enough practice into it.
Yeah, the Finnish player poo-poo kind of can, so...
Okay, so moving on to our next question, and not wasting any time here. How did you get started in the tournament scene? Because a lot of people know you for your tournament scene antics, and you've done quite a bit
It all started with OSU UK Tournament 1. There's a few people in this channel here that actually participated in it and enjoyed it, but basically, I wanted to do something to bolster my local community within the UK. I wanted something to, bolster it, make it come together for something, and I thought a tournament would be good, and I thought it might be a good time, so that's what I did. So I got myself, Doomsday, Starry, a few others together to run a tournament, and I did. It was 32 players at first, and it was single elimination, and at the time it was quite hype actually.
I would imagine so. Getting 32 people for a single elimination tournament is that's quite a feat, especially being able to coordinate it. Trust me, with doing tournaments like the OWC and helping out with that, it's not easy to get even 4 people to be on time, let alone 30.
Yeah.
It's definitely not something that's easy. And so with that first tournament that you helped in with the UK, what did you place, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. I was playing in my own tournaments at the time because I wanted to be a part of it myself, but there was obviously some measures in place where I'd be as fair as possible to avoid any allegations of unfair play.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually becomes quite a big thing later on in the second tournament, because in the second tournament I got accused of rigging brackets, but that's a dumb story. It was called the Portal. It was called the Portal Pass Fairy. Anyone here remember that? But yeah, so I placed around. I think I got to the third round, the round of 30. It was the round of 16, I think, where I got knocked out. Or was it the quarterfinals?
Well, it's not bad for first tournament play. I don't think I've taken part in any tournaments, which is terrible. Anyways, so with the tournaments there, you have also taken place in the OWC. You even took place last year's, and you did pretty well. I mean, there was big hype about you. If I remember correctly, didn't you go straight in and knock something out in Hard Rock first time? Never touched it.
Oh, okay. My first and only World Cup participation was in the recent one just past, the 2014 Cup, and my fair and honest reflection is that I think I really bombed and did poorly when it mattered. In the group stage, in my first game versus Finland, I did alright. I got a decent combo, I got the score to help support my team to winning that Pacific map, and then, versus Singapore, I just dropped the bomb and pretty much just went ham with a Hard Rock sight read with a map. I didn't even bother playing in the map pool. I don't know what happened. I think I was focusing on the other maps, but that happened. And then come to the elimination matches, we face Austria, and I just completely conked out on the maps I thought were quite easy. I especially remember how I did on hiatus, which in that round, because I did really poorly, and it kind of brought me down at the time. But we went to the losers bracket then and faced Twylon and then lost to them, and I think I also did kind of bad in that match as well. On the Hard Rock maps, I was supposed to be FCing, I wasn't, and because of me doing that, I look back and think I did rather poorly in these elimination matches.
Well, you definitely came out strong, because, people were talking about that for days, that full combo sight read. That was kind of a big deal. I think you did okay. But one of the questions is, with you taking part in that one, and I know you didn't win, and I know it's probably a little bit disheartening, is that going to stop you from taking part in the 2015 World Cup?
I don't think I'll be a part of the 2015 World Cup, because I just simply won't be good enough.
Oh, that's nonsense.
There's so many good players in the UK right now that it's really hard to just name them all, but there are a lot of players better than me right now.
I say we just hashtag PortalLife must play 2015 and see how many people we can get to rally that, because I think you do fine. A lot of the things is nerves, nerves will mess with you, but you did excellent during that. I didn't get to actually see that match. They had us commentating another one, but people were talking about it all the time.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be overall when you actually take off the rose-tinted glasses and look at it from how good is he now to how good he did last year. You begin to see that, oh wait, there's these other players that could probably do better even under pressure, because in tournaments it matters the most how you do under pressure and if you can full combo stuff. And the pressure in the elimination matches when I was actually getting streamed was rock high and it made me crumble.
Well, even if you don't get to take part, we're definitely not going to see the end of your name with tournaments, though, because you have actually been helping out with the OC United Kingdom tournaments. How did you get started helping with that?
How did I get started? How did I start to get helping those tournaments? Well, I think it's worth mentioning I created those tournaments, so I wasn't helping with it. I created those tournaments.
So, well, I apologize for that. I should have double-checked on that question. So, you made the tournament. So, how did that start then?
Well, I believe I mentioned this earlier. I wanted to bolster the UK community to come together and be something over something. I felt a tournament would be nice, bring some hype to the community, show the players and what their strengths are.
So, a better question to that, I guess, would be, would you feel that, you obviously are getting help with this tournament thing, right? You're not running it completely solo, are you?
No, I've had other people come in.
Alright, well that's good. So, how would you say that's been as an experience working with those people and setting those up, and how many tournaments have been successfully run? Or have you only gotten the first one out? And is it going to be annual or is it going to be yearly?
Zitra.
Well, yeah, I'm blowing you up with all the touching issues.
No, it's not the touching issues. It's just might be a bit of lack of research on your part, because there's actually been 3 tournaments so far, with a 4th currently in progress, which isn't being ran by me because I have another project I'm working on right now. So I trusted it to someone else to run the 4th tournament while I still.
Oh, that's good.
I still hold a kind of stake in it because I think the UK tournaments have become sort of my brand, so to speak. So even if someone else does it, I'll always have some kind of stake in it somehow.
Yeah. And, yeah, I do apologize for the lack of research done on this. We did get you just yesterday, so we apologize for people. So, not only are the people listening to the talk, for one time, I'm actually learning something listening to the talk. So, it's good. It's good all the way around.
Yeah.
So, another question is how you've been helping. You created your own tournaments. I know that you've at least had some kind of input towards other tournaments and talked with a lot of people. I know you talk with Locktav quite a bit. So, how is working with the tournament staff?
Working with the tournament staff, well, from my experience from getting Locktav, talking to Locktav, getting support for my tournament, he's quite straightforward, blunt, and to the point, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I don't like beating around the bush with things.
Well, that's good. Yeah, Locktav, he's rough around the edges, but he gets stuff done, and that's what we love about him. He gets stuff done. Yeah. And so, like, I know, like, negativity aside or anything, has there been any moments when you were organizing anything where it just felt like it was crazy and you wanted to rip your hair out?
Oh, the second UK tournament definitely falls under that for me. Was it the third? No, it was the second. The second one got me to a point when I was just like, I was nearly at the brink of just going F this and just cancelling it altogether, because there was a lot of drama to start out with. Oh wait, no, there was also another instance in the at the beginning of the third UK tournament. People were on my nuts about the seeding mechanism, because it was at first going to be RNG, but people actively went mad at me trying to get seeding into it. So seeding ended up happening, but at the expense of me getting mad stressed and wanting to just give up on the whole thing.
Oh man, yeah, it definitely gets hard.
And
especially like when you've got so many people trying to do one thing, and then they want you to do everything, and you're like, what do I do?
Yeah, and the second UK tournament, the thing that happened in there, some of the things that happened in that had real implications for like my personal life, which kind of sucked also, but you just have to roll with the blows as it goes.
Pretty much. Another thing that we went over, now we noticed that you're starting to take part in actually playing Mania a lot more. Your standard plays have been kind of going a little bit slow. Do you feel like you're going to try to attack Mania competitively, or is it just something, just to pass time and enjoy?
Oh, I've already began with my attack on Mania. Recently, you might not know this, but before I played Osu, I was a Step Mania player. The vertical scrolling 4-key rhythm game where you just smash arrows. I was playing that for quite some time before I played Osu, but I wasn't playing it really seriously. And then, as I was on and off that, along with Osu, I decided in December, you know what, I'm going to play some more Mania, because my standards motivation has been diminishing of recently. And I also started playing some Lunatic Rave 2, which is a simulator of the Beatmania 2DX series, so you have 8 keys. That's stupidly difficult. So I've been trying to do 4 keys, 8 keys, and also a bit of 7 keys all at once.
That sounds tough. I can't even play. I could play 4 key and that's about it. And I've went into that a little bit before. But yes, excuse me. So, do you think you said OWC's probably out. But what about MWC?
I don't think it'll be good enough. The players in the UK are out of this world when it comes to Mania.
I'm
players.
Not gonna lie to you. I normally
you've interviewed Hayabusa, you know this guy, but Hayabusa's not the only one. Hayabusa's not the only one. Gadget Geek, Starry, another guy called Avon Seance, another one called Kazi, Yoshi. These guys are crazy, and they demolish me in country rankings right now. They're like my senpais.
Yeah, but sometimes if you work towards it, though, it might be something. I mean, that's a whole year away. Mania is the last cup before the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, because it goes Taiko, Catch the Beat, Mania, Worlds. So you have a whole year to practice. I think. Well, I don't think you could beat Hayabusa. I'm sorry, Hayabusa hype too strong. But I think if you
I think.
Go ahead.
I think at 4 key, if I practice hard enough, I might be able to match Hayabusa at 4 key. But at everything else, 7, 8 key, not a chance. Not this year.
Yeah. All right. And our last question before we get to our community questions here is, now we talked about this last night when we were setting up the talk. You have a little bit of info. You don't want to go too much into it, but there's some kind of upcoming event. Do you want to share some of the details to that? If you want to.
The most I'll say on this show is that at the end of this month, February, there will be a tournament announced. It will be Osu's first official 1v1 tournament for Osu standards.
Ah. That I've actually heard a little bit about that. I didn't know like what date it would be set up and anything, but yes, for the people listening, that is official. So it's not just a community ran one; it's an official 1v1. That should be pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's 1v1 because I honestly prefer 1v1 as a competitive Osu format to 4v4s.
Yeah, it puts all the skill on the player alone. Definitely, there's no longer someone that can just carry the team.
Yeah, and it also brings in it brings in a lot more strategy to your picks, to your map picks, because if you know someone's bad at something, you can pick that, and it goes back and forth.
All right, and as you guys heard, PortalLife said that would be announced near the end of this month. So keep a lookout on the tournament forums and probably on the front page. I would imagine something like that would probably be announced. All right. So anyways, it looks like we're going to move on to our user questions now. We've gotten through with the main interview. I want to thank you, PortalLife, for being here and going through that spiel with me. We're going to move on to the community questions. And how this works is, obviously, you guys probably read the description, but I'll explain it one more time, just to be quick. If you have a question, message it to Kiyanko. If you want to speak your question, just tell her I have a question. If you want it typed because you don't want to speak it, type the question to her. All right, and we'll get this started. And it looks like Kiyanko has the first question, keeping that stuff as tradition, even though we don't have our lovely deadbeat here. So let's go ahead and get that started. Go ahead, Kiyanko, and take it away whenever you're ready.
I would like to start off and say that I very much miss Deadbeat. As you can tell by the description, we are currently Portal minus Deadbeat. And Portal, you are my favorite memer. Thank you for bringing many great memes to us. And my question is that aside from all of the rhythm games that you play, what other games or communities are you very into?
I'm very much into the banana community games such as Beatmania, Sound Voltex, and DDR. That's my other main community outside of OSU.
Are there any other games that you play that are not rhythm games?
I played a bit of League of Legends every now and then. I used to proper try hard League of Legends, and I only ever got to Gold 2 at best. And I've also dabbled in CS:GO and StarCraft too.
What was your rank in StarCraft?
I was nearly diamond as Terran.
Good job, boys.
Oh boy. Yeah, I can't say I'm that good at StarCraft, but thank you for that question, Kiyanko. And do we have another one queued up? It looks like we have Lavu. Is Lavu going to speak, or do they want us to type it out?
I sent you the question after it.
Yeah.
So it's typed.
Okay. Alright, so, PortalLife.
Bay, you're forgetting the roles.
Lavu wants to know, how do I get better at Hidden and Hard Rock?
Play it. That's pretty much all it comes to. You have to play it and learn to read it. And for Hidden Hard Rock, your aim has to be good, your accuracy has to be good, and depending on maps, your speed has to be good as well.
Oh man.
But be careful, if you play too much of it, your reading at lower AR can and will suffer.
Yeah, it will diminish. I know the question was for PortalLife there, but I can kind of feed in on that. One of the biggest problems we have in OS right now is we have kind of an epidemic. I would call it an epidemic. It's called new players can't read low AR syndrome, and then they instantly think every map that has AR8 is bad.
There's some cases where they think AR9 is bad too. I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay, Troy, you have to look at the thing. If you have a question, you send a private message to Kiyanko. And the next question we actually have is another written question from Mafham. And he asks, where do you like to shop? Are you a Tesco's boy, a Morrison's lad, or a Stainsbury chap?
I'm more of an Asda lad, to be honest.
Ah. Well, there you go. I don't know the context of that one too much. Would you mind going into that? Like, is that just the local shop areas?
The context is that Asda is basically the equivalent to Walmart, and they're both owned by the same company.
Oh, okay. Learn something new every day. All right. Well, thank you for that question, Mafham. And then we have another question written, unfortunately. Guys, no, you can speak. All you have to do is just say, you know, I want to speak my question. Give PortalLife somebody to talk to. The next one's from Brightside, and they ask, what is your favorite meme?
What is my favorite meme? Well, let me tell you something. Hold on. Okay, I've got it. I needed to see something, sorry. You see, I was born too late to explore the Earth. I was born too soon to explore the galaxy. I was born just in time to browse dank memes. That is my favorite meme.
Oh god. Dank memes. Alright. Okay, so it looks like our next question is actually going to be a spoken question. Hooray! And thank you for that question, Brightside. We appreciate it. We're going to have Doomsday ask a question. So, Doomsday, go ahead and take away the floor, my friend.
Hey, Portal. Even though you're not actually running the latest OUKT tournament, I want to ask you, who do you think is going to win? And this is totally not going to be a biased one. Don't worry. I will not chance if you don't say me.
I don't think that bad player Doomsday is gonna win. I'm gonna say Behemoth's gonna win. Doomsday's too much of a scrub to win this tournament. Honestly, he's outclassed.
Damn, shots fired. I'm seeing my lawyers. Okay, cheers for answering, dude.
Thank you for that question, Doomsday. Appreciate it. All right, and our next question looks like it's going to be coming from Jenny. So we'll go ahead and give Jenny talk power. Boom. There you go. Go ahead and take that away when you're ready.
Okay, firstly, hello, and secondly, the question that I have would be, did you ever feel particularly impressed by an unconventional playing or mapping style, and if so, which one would that be?
I was playing styles I've been impressed by was Blue Dragon's playstyle. I found quite impressive. When I first saw Tap X from TTL, I was amazed by that as well. And also, I was also impressed by Gen's, what was his name? Gen Sokyo Akuma's playstyle. He holds his pen in the most ridiculous way. And as for mapping styles, I remember first seeing Skystar maps come out. That was mind-blowing at the time. It was like, what are these maps? And then later I saw Hans' mapping style and I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, these are the things with playing and mapping styles that have impressed me in particular.
Yeah, personally speaking, I can totally agree on the mapping part, because like things have been going weird and crazy, but also kind of fun over the past 2 years. And I actually wouldn't have expected that at all, presuming it would go all to the TV size kind of stuff that we were used to. If I could add something to that, like add a suggestion to the playing style thingy, I actually really enjoyed the replays of T-Killer and Sprossif when they used 4 keys to stream, like on the 200 BPM Marissa map by DJ Pop.
Oh wow, using 4 keys to stream, that requires some good coordination, because Osu's not set up to take inputs like that, I think. And what I mean by that is you can't,
away.
Like what I'm saying is trying to stream on 4 keys.
I tried on Mendes and managed to get 62% after like 12 tries or something. And to be fair, it gave me a fair interest in like diversifying my own playing styles, and that's, let's say I'm hoping to see more of that myself and other people.
Yeah, the problem is that unique playstyles such as that don't give you much room to actually get good at a game. Because the only way you get good at a game using such a mad playstyle is with time. I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube of like Lunatic Ray players playing Overjoy charts, which are like the hardest charts in the game, with PS2 controllers. That must have took them so many years to be able to do. And that's the thing, most people would opt to go for the playstyle that makes them improve the quickest. So they'll go for like a conventional mouse low DPI setup or a tablet setup.
Screw the ranks, it's the unranked achievement that counts, in my opinion. Flexibility, yay.
I mean, Raruchi did say once, please enjoy game, so...
Wasn't that Dragon Human?
No, it was Raruchi.
Oh yeah, right, Dragon Human was the one with the essay on that, I think.
Well, I appreciate
anyway.
the question, Jenny. Not a problem. One of the things I did want to say though is with the 4-key alternating, you just have to set them up on the opposite side and it'll take in the input. Like, say for example, X is key 2 and Z is key 1, and then left click is key 1 and right click is key 2. What you would do is, if you wanted to alternate, you would have on the right click you'd have one finger, and then on the left mouse button you'd have that, and then you'd alternate those, so it's always landing on the other one. And if you do that and go back and forth with it, you can get pretty ridiculous speeds.
Well, you would think it would be more easy that way, but it's still ridiculously stupid and hard.
Oh, it's ridiculously stupid and hard, and it's because, well, I would say it's because that most mouses kind of cap out at the speed that they can hit, like, just due to limitations, you know, on how mouse buttons work. Most mouse buttons aren't built for, like, super high impact speed. Like, they're built for clicking speed, yeah, but not like what OS demands.
Yeah, personally speaking, when I tried that, I used to use a Razer mouse, and that was a real problem. Like, that was a struggle because it just didn't snap back properly all the time.
No,
And
Razer mouses don't.
Yeah, I found that my Rocket Sabu is actually much more useful for anything mouse clicking related.
Alright, well, thank you for that, and I'm sorry I kind of stretched that out a little bit. It's just an interesting topic I wanted to throw my 2 cents on. So, we appreciate that, and we have another question here. It's actually from Troy, so we're going to give Troy talk power. Thank you so much, Jenny. Alright, Troy, go ahead and take that away whenever you're ready.
Alright, so what are your thoughts on the recent changes on the PP?
From what I understand, Small Circles got a buff, and got nerfed to some extent. Hold on. Let me just pull up the changes so I fully know what I'm talking about here. So, they have the bonus for high approach rates starts at 10.3 rather than 10. Now, I can't remember what impact this has had, but every score got buffed by a base amount to compensate for nerfs. So pretty much everyone, except few, gained PP.
Yeah, there are a few people that I noticed that got changed. I noticed Azer went up a few ranks.
Yeah, dude, I gained like 90 PP from that update.
I probably lost more performance points. I don't play actively anymore, though.
But these changes necessarily are good ones, taking it in the right direction, awarding, like, you know, the circle size 6 players, because they're crazy. But there's still some problems with how space streams give so much PP, and how dense streams, like Valkyrie Dimension Double Time, don't give much PP. And there's also the problem of maps like Die Genome giving so much PP for what is quite simple patterns and such. So the DT farm map meta is still going to be a thing, but hopefully Tom can implement solutions to these, and hopefully also implement a solution to the fact that maps like Scarlet Rose with a dance number, the high BPM single tap maps, do not award a lot of PP despite being quite difficult to play.
Alright, well, thank you so much for that question there. We're actually going to move on to Brightside here. They actually have a question that they're going to speak this time. Awesome, so we're going to give them talk power real quick. How you doing, man? Go ahead and take that away.
Alright, hi. So you told me that you recently changed your pen style. I was wondering if you thought you benefited from it yet or not.
I haven't reaped the benefits from it yet, but I think I've gotten to like my old level where I was doing hard rock stuff and decent name stuff. I can do that kind of now, but I haven't exactly reaped the benefits of being able to move a bit more freely. I need more time to adjust with it. I also need more motivation to actually play the game to actually reap the benefits of having a U pen grip. Because you see, for a long time I used a really bizarre pen grip where my tablet pen rested on my ring finger, and I think this caused it to be a bit unstable and maybe a bit too restricted. But the way I hold it now is that it rests on my middle finger, and I have a lot more freedom to move it.
I see. Well, that's definitely good. I was actually looking for my tablet pen as you were going over that, and I can't even find it, which is bad. I'll probably freak out about that later. But anyways, aside from that, thank you so much for the question there, Brightside. Our next question is a written question. It comes from Snickarn. That's what I'm going to assume that is. And he asks, do you like Greg?
Yeah, Greg's the baker's pretty nice sausage rolls. I remember when Sayers was a thing in Liverpool though, and now it's Pound Bakeries. RIP.
Yet again, is that a food context that I'm just not...
Yeah, it's a food context. Greg's is basically like pastry.
Ah, kind of like a Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kremes or something like that? Like a
kind of. But everyone
bakery.
Goes to Greg's for the sausage rolls, basically. No one cares about anything else. They sell at Greg's.
Sausage rolls, is it like, what is that, like a pancake wrapped in sausage or something?
Not quite.
Ah.
A sausage roll is like, it's like meat wrapped up around pastry.
Oh, so it's the exact opposite. See, they have a thing here, they call them sausage roll-ups here, and it's like a pancake wrapped around a sausage, you know? So it's like it's a baked good wrapped around meat, and yours is meat in the center, or no, meat around a baked good.
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to get that out there. Apologize. On a side note, do we have any more questions here? We are getting close to the end of the interview, so if anybody else has a few more questions, feel free to ask them. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap this up in just a little bit. And
I'll have to link you a picture of an actual sausage roll.
Yeah, actually, yeah, go ahead and do that. Like, cause we're waiting for questions anyways. So
Nobody else has sent me anymore.
yeah, nobody else has sent anything. So we might be calling
I think we're at like 40 minutes now.
Yeah, we might be calling it a little bit quit there. Unfortunately, I think that has to do with just the fact that we didn't have Deadbeat, and I apologize for being a little bit late. Yes, you can totally ask 2 questions of Matt Ham. So if you have another question...
I actually do have another question.
Okay.
So, Portal, what is the next amazing cosplay you shall be bringing to us?
Oh yeah. Well, I have some ideas, but for the next few conventions, I'm gonna be doing Battler from Unico. The next one I'm going to, I'm gonna have him with his cloak that he gains later on in the visual novels, and also have the wig fixed so it's properly styled and looks nicer.
Okay, I don't mean to cut in, but that sausage roll looks absolutely amazing.
It is.
Oh god, that looks so good.
By the way, Portal ruined the wig that he bought for me. Just gonna publicly call you out.
Oh god.
That looks so good though. Anyways, aside from the delicious food, Pope Gadget asked, and I know he didn't ask from Kianko, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull it at straws because we're getting close to the end here. I'll just do it. They asked, do you have Battletoads? They want to know if you rock the Battletoad life.
No,
are you about the Battletoad life?
No, I don't have Battletoads, but you should go ring GameStop. They might have Battletoads on Wii.
I would like to add that the pause music in Battletoads is definitely the funkiest.
Oh man, Battletoads used to piss me off. I mean, that was probably the only Rare game that ever like pissed me off. Like, cause Rare's made well, except all the new shit that they make for the Kinect. But anyways, we do want to thank everybody out here today that came out. Anyway, last call though. Last call for questions. Anybody got anything? Nothing?
There's actually a question you asked that I wish to expand more upon.
Go for it.
It was the question you asked about my play history. I got to the point where I mentioned, like, I had a red Switch keyboard, the Cupad MK50, but now I actually own a Cupad MK80 with brown switches. So that changed, and also I never talked about like how I started. When I started with Hard Rock, I was doing it on hard, doing it hidden Hard Rock on like the hard difficulties, because at that time they gave so much PP. And PPV1, that system was so stupid.
Oh, poor Peppy. He tried. Like
he tried.
I seriously still feel that it was a step up from what they were doing with just the score. It did make it a little bit harder, if not for just the confusion of how to get points.
I think that now the PC system is a lot better because the PP system in V1 was just totally rewarding the wrong kind of players. I mean, in PPV2, there's some line of logic where even though double time scores may be overvalued to an extent, it's still kind of logical. Now, PPV1 didn't have that logic at all, which made it kind of a bad system. And unfortunately, it got to people's heads when they got high ranks in PP1 with Flashlight and thought they were the best players ever. I'm not gonna name any names, but some people in PPV1 needed to be put down, basically.
The thing about PPV1, and I don't know if it's 100% sure, I can't confirm it. All I could say is this is a rumor, never to be confirmed. But once upon a time, I'm almost positive it actually took into consideration like how many times you had played the map. Like, so if it actually rewarded you for going in and like farming TV sizes and knocking them out, like with a full combo, one go. If you only played that map once and you hit a high score on it like that, it would like just throw PP at you and make it rain. It's like, oh my god, you're so awesome. You know, and I'm not 100% sure if it did that for sure, but I did notice that during PPPV1, I said P 3 times, but anyways, during that, anytime I just go in and I'd like open OS Direct and go and like shoot out a whole bunch of just TV size Animu maps, I'd always go like 200, 300 ranks.
Yeah, there's another thing you mentioned about like a epidemic of like people that can't read low AR, and thus we have a problem where, you know, do you have people that go on AR9 map, go on Discus and comment, oh, this map's so bad, it's AR9, So it's like, the thing is with this is that it's gonna only get worse. It's only gonna get worse because most hard maps now are like the 9.3, the 9.5 AR because of decimal AR. So it's
like, what I don't understand, and this is just me, I'm not saying it's like it has to be that way. It's what I don't understand is why Hard Rock and Double Time and all these mods are being taken to the exact extreme, because you could have fun with those mods without having to put it to the exact extreme. People say, oh, AR8 is terrible, I don't like AR8. Well, you know, AR8 plus Hard Rock equals AR10. Doesn't it? Or it's really fucking
yeah,
close.
that's right. It's close enough.
Yeah, so like, if you don't like a map, don't call it shit because the AR is too low for you. Play it in Hard Rock and see if you don't enjoy it. Like,
no.
Give the mappers a chance is what I'm getting at. Because
Yeah.
I feel that most creators, like, look into that. And you can even see it with the newer maps coming out. That mappers are starting to cater towards these crazy ARs because they know that's what people like. But I feel like that's just overshadowing the mods completely and destroying their purpose. Because our max cap should be 10 for AR. I know it, doesn't it go higher now?
It goes 10? Up to AR11.
Yeah.
If you double time an AR10 map, it'll become AR11. And there's also loads of other possible combinations in between that because of decimal AR.
Yeah. You know, it's like, the way I see it is 10 should have been the main cap. I don't see why we went to 11. I can't, like, you know...
It's like an unintended gameplay mechanic of double time, because you see double time increases the AR but doesn't decrease object density. So I think it might work that it still thinks it's playing AR8. So if you AR8 double time, that's known as AR 9.67. But to the game, because of that object density, it might still be read as AR8.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just, it don't make a lot of sense to me. Like, if you put something low, the mods should be there to increase the difficulty, not just cap it out. You know, and I feel like that's what a lot of the newer maps nowadays do, is cap out. They just cap out the settings.
Yeah, there is a problem where double time is becoming quite difficult. Say if you're like a top player and want to double time like a map that's decimal AR over 9, good fucking luck without being able to read you know, ARs above 10.3.
Yeah. It's just, it is crazy. And I appreciate you going off on that little tangent. But with that, we're actually going to wrap this up. We're here at the end of the mark. So we want to thank everybody that came out. And thank you so much, PortalLife, for dealing with me being an hour late. I do apologize. And thank everybody here that was stayed, you know, for PortalLife's interview and waited so long. We appreciate your patience and stuff. And remember, Rhythm's only a click away, and we'll see you guys all real soon.
See ya.